Please.
Thanks. I would like to introduce you to Cheryl Bridgart. Cheryl.
Welcome.
Fantastic. I mean, Cheryl's work's really quite amazing. You are an embroidery and textile artist.
Yes.
Is that the best way to put it?
Yes.
Multi-award winning. You've got works all over the world. Multidisciplined artist as well, as far as your diplomas are concerned as well. It's incredible. I mean, your home is 160-year-old horse stables that you've turned into a studio area. It is one of the most fascinating places I've been to in some time, it really is. But tell me a little bit more about how this all started for you. I mean, you literally have been doing this since you were a preschooler.
I've drawn since I was a child. I always loved to draw. And going to grandmother's house, I loved going through her magazines, women's weeklies, and she wouldn't let me cut anything up, so I had to draw little pictures. Then I'd go home and make them for my dolls.
Yeah.
And that began sort of a love of creating textures and pattern on the surface. By the time I became a teenager, I was making my own clothes. They looked like costumes, so they were very theatrical. I had to decorate them. And my mother used to say, I'm not sure how you're going out in that. To today, I actually don't own clothes that I haven't designed.
That's amazing.
Drafted, always embroidered. It's like my brand. And the past few years I've made hats to match my outfits.
And a lot of what you do is based on your dreams.
Yes, I've been a vivid dreamer all my life.
It's fantastic.
Each of the masks have been made separately.
So this is your clothing room, will you?
This is my special room. This is where my clothes live, and this is where I dress to go out or every day.
Yeah, they're just unbelievable.
They all have a name. This one's called We Like to Party.
I mean, they are works of art. I mean,
And this one recently, and it's very asymmetrical. Now I can show you where I make the clothes.
Okay.
Just come in, this is where I stitch my clothing, my art. So I've got some earlier works. This is one of my outfits I made when I was in my late teens to wear.
All right, Cheryl, well, you are at your Benina. From what I can see, you do a sketch before you start all of this.
Yes, always a drawing. I love to draw, and my embroidery is like drawing. So this is my reference. Sometimes there might be 6 drawings. For this one, which I did for you, it's just one colourful drawing.
So how do you go about this? It's really just freehand, isn't it? You don't
Freehand.
You don't sketch anything out?
No. Yeah. So I start with my blank piece of canvas, which is artist canvas. So it's what you would paint on, 10-ounce cotton canvas. I usually use a really pale thread, like a pale pencil colour, but for today I'm going to use a darker grey so it's more visible, and that I can change it. So once I've start adding other colours, I can lose those first lines that I make. This machine doesn't do a straight line, it just bobs up and down, so away I go.
The art of being different, mostly black and white, but you've got these brilliant colours that you put into your work, and obviously the cotton that you use, the colours on them are quite amazing.
I love colour. I'm using a German thread. And I love to optically mix colours, which you'll see as I move along with this piece. So
you've got another piece called Beautiful by Nature.
It's an environmental piece. It's about how we're really connected with nature. That's why the eyes are in the landscape. The landscape is us, John and I, driving down through McLaren Vale, beautiful Adelaide Hills, down to our south coast beaches where we love to spend time. So it's got the colours that change, it's got the birds, and we are very part of nature.
And you've also got Autumn Dreams in there as well, which looks like it's got the spiral of life going all the way through it.
That's a romantic piece. I might add a touch of orange. If I want to liven up a green, I might add yellow in it. So it all mixes together, and that's a little bit of studying art. Zoom in and look at colour. So embroidery is like that, because you can put touches of colour here, there and everywhere.
I've got another piece called Cryptic Eye, which has got your lovely zebras all through it too, but that's a great looking piece.
Zebra is a symbol, a happy symbol for me, so I use zebras. I'll put faces next to birds because we are very connected, and birds are interesting, especially in dreams. Sometimes we fly, as children we fly in dreams. Birds can fly away, so if things aren't going well, they can just fly. They're creatures of the skies and the heaven, so I often use them as a symbol of how we grow in our artwork, in our life, so the bird is quite an interesting symbol.
Wonderful. But craft, but it really is art.
I'm not copying photographs, I don't copy anyone else. I use images from my dreams, and if I need to do research, when I had my zoo exhibition, I go to the zoo. I'm doing figures and faces.
And apart from what you're doing now with the imaginary size of things, you also do portraits of people. I mean, some well-known people as well. And one of them is the Governor of South Australia, Hugh Van Lee, and you've actually, literally with no pencil marks and no nothing, you made his portrait. Amazing.
And the interesting part was he sat and a film crew filmed it, and an audience sat and watched, so it was a bit under pressure.
And you also do commissions for people as well?
Yes.
So how long does it take you to do one of your larger pieces there?
It could be 300 hours and cater for anyone. Look, it's so nice. I always say they start living in a new home. They become part of someone else's world.
That's great. I mean, you've got another piece here called Wishes on a Wing, and there's some separation in there. There's some spots that you've missed out. And from what I've found in getting to know you is that there's a really lot of meaning in your work and what you do. You're always trying to say or make a comment of some sort.
We're in New Zealand. The earthquake had happened. The city was full of holes. So there's holes in the work that show the holes of the city. But this beautiful, colourful bird is growing out because there's regeneration. This outfit, they all have a name. This one's called Play That Tune.
Now, apart from your embroidery, you're also a very talented artist with paint as well. And I just wanted to bring up a couple of pictures. You've got one called See Something.
See Something, yes, quite a quirky piece.
And another one is Carnival of Dreams, and it looks like that's you. And another thing I really need to emphasise as well is that people think that this is programmed into this sewing machine, what you do, and it's not. It's all freehand drawing with a stitch. It's like pencil hatching.
Yes.
And you're just using different coloured cottons to be able to get the image. So it's not programmed at all, is it?
Nothing is programmed in. This machine is on manual. There's no stitch length even on it. And if I do that, nothing happens until my hands take over to draw.
And another thing I want to mention as well, I mean, you've just changed into another outfit. Your clothes are just wonderful. They're extraordinary. But there's a number of them. You've got one called Masks, which I think is a fantastic picture. It really is brilliant. I can just see a coat made out of that. And then there's the parrot coat that you've done as well. And they're just one-offs. They're designer one-offs. We like to party is another one. Your imagination is extraordinary, and your ability across a wide range of fields is just amazing.
Thank you. I draft my own patterns. I don't buy a garment and then decorate it. They all start from scratch, from drafting. If it's complicated, I'll make a toile out of calico. So every day I wear these outfits. I don't have jeans. I wear something that makes you feel good. I've made 2 waistcoats for Nick Mitsovich, who's the director of the National Gallery of Canberra. The first one was inspired by his garden. He was a great subject to fit and make a waistcoat. And while I'm here, I can even add eyelashes. It's observing, looking at the work, referring back to my drawing and seeing where I need to add more. I'll just... Sometimes I hide things in the background. It might be a little eye that I'll scribble in somewhere, often in the landscape, so I put little birds or little animals. If you look closely, you'll find things in trees.
Now, another big step in your career was when you won the competition Dreamtime, when you actually had to design an image for a billy can, and that was sponsored by the Australian Arts Council, Tourism Australia and Qantas, and you won it. Without going to England, it changed your whole life.
Really, it was over. Okay, on how I work, doing eyes, lips, I need to sign it. So that's it.
Well, Cheryl, it's been an absolute pleasure being in your beautiful home, your amazing studio, and watching the incredible work that you do. I just think it's fascinating, I really do, and thank you so much for having us in your studio.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to share my space and my art, my passion.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.